In every corner of this great land, legends were born. From fearless frontiersmen to forgotten outlaws, from heroic patriots to mysterious pirates, these are the untold stories that shaped America. Welcome to American Legends, where history comes alive. Subscribe and step into the past.
History remembers its rebels, but not always kindly. In the quiet corners of American literary history, one name whispers louder than the rest: Delia Bacon, a woman whose pen took aim at one of the greatest icons of English literature, and whose pursuit of truth came at a great personal cost. Delia Bacon was born in 1811 in the small frontier town of Talmadge, Ohio. She was the youngest of 6 children, born into a deeply religious New England family. Her father, a congregational minister, died when she was just a child, leaving her family in difficult circumstances. From the start, Delia's mind was different. She devoured books, mastered language quickly, and dreamed of intellectual adventures far beyond the narrow expectations placed on women in early 19th century America. By her teenage years, she had already begun teaching, one of the few careers open to educated women at the time. But her heart was set on more than classrooms and modest pay. She wanted a voice in the great conversations of the age. In the 1830s, Delia moved east and began lecturing, an almost unheard-of pursuit for women at the time. She spoke on history, literature, and philosophy, drawing fascinated and sometimes skeptical crowds. Her lectures were bold, her ideas unconventional. She wrote stories and essays that gained praise in literary circles. For a moment, it seemed she might join the ranks of America's great thinkers and authors. But her path took a strange and fateful turn when she became captivated by the works of William Shakespeare. By the mid-19th century, Shakespeare was already enshrined as the world's greatest playwright. His poetry and plays were celebrated as the product of a singular genius from Stratford-upon-Avon. But Delia Bacon wasn't convinced. She believed the plays were far too rich in history, politics, and philosophy to have been written by an untraveled actor with limited formal education. She began to suspect that Shakespeare was a mask, a front for a group of highly educated men, including Sir Francis Bacon, Sir Walter Raleigh, and other members of Elizabethan society. Her conviction became an obsession. For years, she researched Elizabethan England, reading obscure political tracts, cross-referencing historical events with scenes from the plays, and piecing together what she believed was a hidden code. In 1853, Delia sailed to England, determined to uncover physical proof of her theory. She spent years in poverty, haunting libraries, poring over manuscripts, and walking the streets of Stratford. Her most daring idea? That the true authors had hidden documents inside Shakespeare's tomb itself. She managed to secure permission to open the grave, a moment that could have changed literary history forever. But on the night before, something stopped her. Whether it was fear, doubt, or a sudden sense of reverence, she never broke the stone. The mystery remained sealed. In 1857, she published her life's work, The Philosophy of the Plays of Shakespeare Unfolded. The book was over 600 pages long, dense with historical theory and philosophical arguments, but it was a disaster. Critics dismissed it as nonsense, calling it the work of a mind unhinged. Even her friends, including Nathaniel Hawthorne, who had supported her in England, distanced themselves from the controversy. Delia had poured her entire soul, fortune, and reputation into the book, and the world laughed. rejection broke her. Exhausted, penniless, and mentally strained, she returned to America. She spent her final years in obscurity, often confined to asylums where she drifted between lucidity and delusion. On September 2nd, 1859, Delia Bacon died at the age of 48. She was buried in New Haven, Connecticut, far from the cobblestone streets of Stratford, where her greatest gamble had played out. Today, most scholars reject Delia's theory. But in her boldness, she became a pioneer, one of the first women to publicly challenge entrenched literary traditions. She opened the door to the Shakespeare authorship question, a debate that continues to this day, with followers ranging from academics to actors. Delia Bacon's story is not simply one of failure. It is the tale of a woman who dared to question what the world accepted without proof. She lived, fought, and suffered for an idea, and in doing so, became an unlikely American legend. History is not always kind to its dreamers, but it remembers them.
If you really like the story of Delia Bacon and want us to make more videos on hidden American legends life stories, please like and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon to get the first update of the American legends. Until next video, stay tuned.